Hi everyone, welcome to our webinar tonight. The topic of webinar is healthy conflict resolution in relationship and how to fight fair in a way that we can strengthen the connection. So I'm using both coaching and psychology tips to help you to show how to build a stronger love. This is Sarah Green. I'm a relationship coach and therapist with psychology background. So why conflict matters? Yeah, so a healthy relationship is not the absence of conflict. In any relationship, we have conflicts. It's important to learn how to manage that. So research shows that it's not the disagreements that break couple, it's the way they handle them. So conflict can be a doorway to growth and deeper connection. So conflict is normal. And why it is normal? Because there are differences in upbringings, culture, and personalities. All these differences bring different expectation. So sometimes total lack of conflict mean avoidance of important issues. So if we see a couple don't have any conflicts, it means they are avoiding some issues. So imagine a couple never argues about money, but in silence, they resent each other for spending. So what are the big triggers in relationship? Money, intimacy, parenting, politics, and values. These are usually the big topics. And also there are some day-to-day like chores, habits, like, how to clean toilet seat or dishes or toothpaste. And all these also can bring conflicts. So there are usually small things which are unattended become big during the time. So, for example, a man might say, "You never put dishes away." So, and which inside him it means that he doesn't, you don't respect me. So, what it shows, sometimes, small things shows big underlying things. For example, they might argue over like, who cleaned the dishes or who take the rubbish bins and all this, but it's about the argument is about, do I matter to you, or like who has power in the relationship? Am I respected? Does this person care for me? But then it comes in a small, like daily things. So there are hidden danger for small issues which are ignored, and during the time they all can accumulate, and the resentment grows. So the partners then they feel that they are not heard. So I usually encourage my clients to express concerns early and respectfully rather than avoiding that. So what are some unhealthy conflict styles? Name calling, yelling, you know, sudden like outbursts, anger outbursts, stonewalling, shutting down, not talking, building walls, living without any explanations, attacking the other person personality traits rather than their behavior, and also kitchen sinking. It means that when something happens, bringing everything at once. You're like this, that, not just focusing on one thing, but it bringing everything together. So what are some healthy patterns? Unhealthy patterns. Dismissing feelings. For example, when a partner expresses a concern, a worry, or anything like that, the other person completely dismiss their feeling, and they say, "Oh, that's ridiculous. You cannot feel like that," or you are making assumptions. So blaming other partner for their emotions. For example, saying, "You made me angry." No one is responsible for our emotion, and blaming is not good. So using some absolute words, I mean, catastrophizing things like you always do this or you never do this. Be careful of using this generalizing things. For example, when we see something happening twice or three times, and then we say you're always like that. And negative body language, like, folded arms, avoiding eye contact. These are all unhealthy patterns in conflict. For example, saying that you are lazy rather than saying I feel overwhelmed when the living room is messy. So it's very important that you say about your feeling and how you feel when someone behave things rather than, just labeling a person you are lazy. So why we do this? Why people in conflict behave in an unhealthy way? There are some learned patterns from childhood. So, in the childhood and past relationships, we have learned that, for example, if we avoid conflict, if we shut down, or if we just, start raising our voice or like, criticize, in this way, we can, resolve the issues. So one thing then is learn patterns. The other things is a stress response. When we are under stress, our brain goes to the default defense mode, and so all the hormones, are in the body. The body goes to fight and flight mode. There is a part of brain which is called amygdala, and this is the emotion center of the brain, and it can hijack our calm reasoning. So then when you bring reasons, when a person is like fight and flight mode, it doesn't help. So try to build awareness when conflict happens. See what is your style. Do you usually shut down and not talk? Do you usually start criticizing? Do you raise your voice? So do a like kind of self-reflection and see usually if the last conflict happened, what do you do? And then try to choose new ways and new habits. And then next time when that happens, try to be healthier. So see if that's possible. But self-reflection so is very important. So what are some healthy conflict resolutions? So how we can fight fair? Try to be open and respectful. So no matter what happens in a relationship, never think it's the end of relationship, because relationship is about disconnection and connection. So it's all about how you manage conflicts and how you do repair. So in every like conflict, try to be respectful as much as possible. Say, for example, I don't like this, or I would try not to insult. Try to speak honestly without silent treatment. Silent treatment is not good, blocking the person suddenly, like, not answering, just, building walls, shutting down. For long term doesn't work. If like for a couple of hours, or if it's a day maximum, you want to have some time to calm down, that should be fine. But it's better to communicate that, I don't feel well now, to like communicate, but I will come back to it later. Try to lower your voice. Your tone matters more than your words. So even if you say the nicest words, but you raise your words, your voice, this really takes the person to fight and flight mode. And also try to validate emotion. I see this really matters to you. I see this, try to validate. Even it doesn't mean you agree with the person, but see what is the person emotion or what is the person feeling now, and try to validate that. That's very important. Validation doesn't mean agreement. It means that you repeat what they feeling to themselves. I can see that you're upset now. I can see that you're angry now, and all this. So this is validation. So also focus on behavior, not the character. It's very important we don't question a person's character. You are lazy, or you have not done this today, you haven't done any cleaning today or last week. That is two different things. The first one, we are just tailoring the character of the person. The second one, we are mentioning the behavior. So some tips would be like which help really in a conflict would be try to use I statements. And instead of you never listen, say I feel unheard when for example I am interrupted, or for example you respond back to me late. So try to start from your own feeling rather than saying you do this, you do that, saying I feel this when you do this. And also, timeout can help. So you can agree to pause when emotions are high and saying I will back in 10 minutes. And also, research has shown that 70%, almost 70% of couple disagreements, they never go away, and the couple can fight over the same things for years without, coming to any resolution. So it's important to agree to disagree on unsolvable topics. For example, if it's political things, if it's about the families or anything that it's come repeated and you have different ideas, it's good to agree to disagree on that it's okay, we are two different people. We I have this idea, you have this idea, so it's okay that we have different ideas. So this is like agree to disagree. And also try to pick the right moment, not late at night. Late at night is not good when the people are tired, or not during the stress full time for a person. For example, a person is under pressure of project or very stressful things. Try to put it for a time that the person is more calm and have less stress. So the other things is the power of body language. So 70 to 90% of communication is nonverbal. So inconsistent signals can confuse the partner. Imagine we say, I understand, but then our arms are crossed and also we do not look our partners and we look away. Or so this is gives mixed signal to the partner when you say, I understand, but your body language says something else. Try to mirror your partner body posture for attunement. So if your partner body posture is like sitting, try to sit with your partner. And I always encourage the partners, don't sit in front of each other like your opponent. Try to sit next to each other. And even you can use some touching and open body language that helps to ease the conversation. And also the other important thing is that is try not to bring a conflict through text, because text doesn't have any emotion. So it's very dry, and then it can escalate the conflict quickly, and then it becomes out of control. And it's when you want to come back and again also negotiate, when it's through the text is harder. So it's better it would be kind of face to face. So, and managing triggers. So how can we manage triggers? We cannot avoid triggers. Every person has some, things that they can trigger them based on the childhood things or what they happened in their life. Every person has a triggering situation. But you cannot manage the triggers, but you can manage your reactions when triggers happens. So there are some self-regulation techniques that you can practice, like you can have mindful breathing exercise. So, or you can go for a mindful walking and you feel more calm and relaxed inside. And also if you can have some visual imaging, some relaxation technique, or listening to a music to calm you down, try to use that before going to resolve a conflict. Journaling your frustration before speaking can help. And also like, saying what emotions you have. For example, I am sad now, I'm like, angry. All of this, if you say to yourself, usually saying emotions then help you to ease that emotions. And that is like a psychology tip. And also, like if you're a partner that always like attack or and the other person is the one who usually pull back and defend, try to learn, have some deep breaths during the conflict. Like you can have 3 deep breaths before responding. That really helps. So to kind of calm down your nervous system. So, as I said, conflict is inevitable in a relationship and repairing is so important. So, how we can repair when the conflict happens? I think it's good to go back, review, and see what's your part in the conflict, how you could be better. Try to use self-reflection. Try to acknowledge your part. And also, if you think that you have been the one who, has some parts, try to apologize for the part that you could do better. And also validate your partner's feeling. If you said something that your partner's is upset, try to validate their feeling and say that, how you could do that better. And try to commit to a healthier response next time. It's very important to look at the cycle of the conflict. If you look at the cycle of conflict in couples, they are usually repeated cycles. For example, one person usually start to bring worries, fears, or like, the things which the person hasn't done right. And the other person do not validate, shut down, and like, move away. And then it escalates. So the other person feel invalidated. So we have several cycles that usually happens in couples. It's very important you find your own cycle and see what's usually happening, and then try to break this cycle. Next time, see how you can do better or how you communicate with your partner to do better in the next conflict. If they usually, for example, do not validate your feelings, tell them, in the last conflict when I said this and that, my expectation was, receive some validation from you. Next time, if I bring, for example, a concern, can you please validate me? When, things get better. So it's very important find what made you upset and, what made your partner upset in the conflict and try to do better next time. So then repair is so important. Learn how to repair well. So, and when we need to seek help, if your conflicts become repetitive, destructive, and you feel both of you feel stuck, you can help like, couple therapy or relationship coaching. Then we can usually like as a relationship coach or therapist, we can help you to teach how to do fair fighting skills and also provide some safe space for you to practice that. We can do role play together and also try to find your patterns in a conflict and try to break these patterns. So if I want to just summarize, the takeaway messages would be conflict is natural, but resolution is a skill. And also the ingredients of conflict resolution are awareness, respect, fairness, and empathy. So you cannot always control your partner, but you can control how you show up in conflict. So just I'll have a question from you. Just self-reflect. What will you practice in your next disagreement? Just have a look at what's happened in your last argument. Is it with your partner, with your sister, mother, or boss, anyone in your life? I want you to reflect back and see, what happened in your disagreement and how you could do better. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to follow me on social media for coaching tips and also like just be in my like community and receive like regular emails for webinars. And also just you can reach me for a 30 minutes discovery call if you want to like a personalized coaching. So just don't hesitate to reach me for help. Thank you very much everyone for listening today. And now we come to the end of this presentation.